Hi everybody, this is Osprey from MyChartCoach.com, and in this video we're going to take a look at more stocks that were in play on Monday. First up is BXC. Okay, this was one of the top percentage gainers on Monday there. It closed up 77.5%, so a huge move. Notice the big breakout on the daily chart. You can see the giant volume spike formed. It ran all the way up to 31. This is a huge breakout. It's now trading at $28. If you look here at the BXC weekly chart, you can see the resistance levels that are being hit now. It's hitting over here this 2012 and 2013 resistance zone, and so if it can break above 28, then you have a chance to get above the 30 level, which is right here from April 2013, and then above that would be up here at 33 is this high close from back in 2013. So the weekly chart is pushing really hard. This week's candle is pushing well above the upper Bollinger Band. If it fails to break this 28 to 30 resistance zone, it could pull back into the bands. As long as EMA 4 at 20 is holding, the uptrend is super strong. If it breaks out and it closes above 33, that recent close, that's going to be a big signal it wants to keep pushing higher. Look at the giant volume this week. Huge volume behind the move. Okay, take a look at ZYNE. Closed up 10% today. RSI is now above 50 at 51. Fastos at 65. Bullish crossover on ADX. There was a nice close today above the middle Bollinger Band. That's the dotted purple line. The middle Bollinger Band is also the 20-day simple moving average. If that level holds, it could signal the possible start of a new uptrend. As you can see here, the last close above the middle Bollinger Band led to a run up to that 50-day simple moving average. That is the next target, the green line there, 50-day simple moving average at 1126. Just above is the 100-day simple moving average at 1152. If it can break both of those levels, the target will be the 200-day simple moving average at 12. ZYNE is only a good play if it can stay above that middle Bollinger Band at 1033. If it drops below, it'll be a risk to hold. As you can see here, when candles are forming below the middle Bollinger Band, it signals downside risk. Now that it closed above, this signals a possible bullish change in trend. Notice the big volume spike today. Okay, take a look at PLUG, back up there above 50 on RSI at 59. Fastos up there at 86. You can check out the green lines breaking out and pulling away. So today there was a bullish close above the blue and the green lines. That's a close above the 350-day simple moving averages. So as long as the share price can stay above that green line, the 50-day simple moving average at 205, it will signal more upside potential. And our next target is the 100 and 200-day simple moving averages up there at the 228 resistance zone. If it drops back below $2, it will signal it's a risk to hold. As you can see, this was a big resistance level. It had a hard time getting above this 300-day simple moving average. Now that it's finally above, it should be the signal that it wants to head higher. Okay, let's look at GROW. Okay, now we're going to look at some Bitcoin blockchain related stocks. And so the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the next 6 stocks are all going to be blockchain Bitcoin related. So GROW closed up 10% today. The sector's heating up, so I'm going to show you some charts just to look at. This did form a bullish doji star reversal pattern on Friday. Notice the gap down on Friday. There was multiple red candles, gap down on Friday with the doji forming. That formed a bullish doji star reversal pattern. That's a really strong reversal pattern. Many times you see a bounce when that pattern happens, when that pattern forms. And as you can see today, there was a really strong bounce. There was a close above the pink line today. That's EMA 4 at 303. That was the first close above that level since back here on the 23rd of February. So this is signaling the possible reversal starting. It needs to get above EMA 8 at 312 and then above EMA 13 at 321, and that would set up a middle Bollinger Band at 336 resistance test. It needs to turn that middle Bollinger Band into support to get a new uptrend going. If it does, then we'll be looking for a run up to that 50 and 100-day simple moving averages. The GROW will be a risk to hold if it closes below EMA 4. It's only in play if it stays above that pink line. Okay, now DPW. Keep an eye on it. It's trying to heat up. It's holding the 200-day simple moving average. It's formed a double bottom at this level. As you can see, it hit the 200-day simple moving average, came up, stalled out at the gold line. The 100-day simple moving average pulled back, and now it's back down at that 200. As long as the 200-day simple moving average at 128 holds, okay, that's signaling that it could get a reversal going. And then now it closed above EMA 4 at 134. Notice that's the first close above the pink line since over here on February the 20th, back when it was above the middle Bollinger Band. The last time it was really bullish when it looked like it could get something going, but it failed. And so this is the first time it's looked good since then. That's weeks, weeks ago. Okay, so if it can stay above that pink line 134, it signals it's in play. It has to get above EMA 8 at 138. That's the line, and then the next target will be EMA 13 at 145. If it can get above 138 and 145, then the middle Bollinger Band will be the next target at 156. It has to turn the middle Bollinger Band into support to get a new uptrend going. Notice the volume spike today. So it had the best volume today since way back here on the 7th of February. Okay, FTFT, another one to keep an eye on. Notice RSI now is at 55, the highest level on RSI since way back here, back in January. And so, yeah, this closed above the middle Bollinger Band. It had been trying to turn that level into support. Notice it's been holding the gold line. That's the 100-day simple moving average at 259. If it can stay above the middle Bollinger Band at 273, then what we're looking for is a break above that 50 and 300-day simple moving averages, both at 329. Above 329, if it can hold those levels, it would signal it wants to head higher. You can see that has been the recent top, the big level to break. So it'll be a bullish change in trend if it can bust through. Okay, take a look at INPX. So yeah, this has been really beaten down. Look how it was way up here at it hit, what was this, 1650, all right, over here on the 17th of January, and they've dropped it all the way down below $1.50. Now it's back up at $1.52. I mean, that's just a nasty pullback. What makes this look interesting is look at the volume down here. So we've got really big volume at the bottom, and so many times that signals that people are loading for the reversal. So, and with all these other stocks heating up and other stocks that are running hard in the sector, this could get going too. This is what we do, is we try to play the laggards. We try to find the stocks in the sector that haven't participated yet, and sometimes that's where you can find the really good entry points. Check out PSAR. Notice how the dots have been above the candles the entire time, and then notice how they're getting ready to flip. And once the share price breaks above 162, the dots will flip below the candles for the very first time since the start of this downtrend. And so going forward, above 152 will signal upside potential if it can close above 152. So 153 and above signals in play. If it drops below 150, it will be a risk to hold. We're looking for a run up here to that EMA 13 in the middle Bollinger Band. If they can get above 193, that's going to be very bullish. So keep an eye on INPX. Another one to take a look at is SSC. This is another one that has the similar type of pattern where, they just they beat it down. It was up here at $7 back here in December, and it's pretty much been straight down. And so right now it's trying to break break EMAs 4 and 8. And so if it can get back above EMA 4 at 169 and then above EMA 8 at 175, that's going to be a signal the chart's heating up. So keep an eye out for a break above 175 for a possible run up to EMA 13 at 191. Another one to keep an eye on is KODK, KODK. It had the big pullback as well. It topped out on at $13. They drove it all the way down. Now it's trying to hold that $5 support zone. And so basically, if it can get above 550, that EMA 13, and then you have the 100-day simple moving average at 540, two big levels to break, and then once it gets above that middle Bollinger Band at 578, when you see it close above that level, that should be your signal, okay, it's finally ready to go. It hasn't closed above the middle Bollinger Band since way back here on the 30th of January, okay? So a close above 578 is going to be your signal that a possible new uptrend is starting. Okay, take a look at EYEG. This is another penny stock that got beaten down. Notice the big gap. It had the big drop here, and so it's been trading sideways. What we're looking at here is the middle Bollinger Band. Okay, notice this candle right here closed above the dotted purple line. All these candles are above the dotted purple line, and then this candle right here, it closed below, and all these candles are below the dotted purple line. Well, today the candle closed right at that dotted purple line level. It's at 60 cents. If EYEG trades above 60 cents, that's going to be your signal. Okay, yeah, it's ready to go, but it has to close above that level. It looks like it's setting up and it's going to do it. possibly tomorrow. Look at the PSAR. I just talked about that. Notice how the dots were above the candles the entire time it's been down. PSAR levels at 62. If it breaks 62, the dots are going to flip below for the first time since this big drop. That'll be a bullish change in trend. What we're looking for is a run back up to the bottom of the gap, and so the bottom of the gap level is always tough to break. So that's lined up with that upper Bollinger Band at about 669, and then you've got the high close. So it did break above the bottom of the gap at about 73 cents. The top of the gap is way up here at the 100-day simple moving average. Okay, let's look at SPI. This is another energy sector play. Keep an eye on it. It's heating up. It has low volume right now, but notice how it closed above that 200-day simple moving average today. It also closed above the green line, the 50-day simple moving average. It had been turning the dotted purple line, the middle Bollinger Band, at 78 into support. It started getting a new uptrend, and now today that close above the 200-day simple moving average is our clue. Okay, it looks like it wants to go. Check out how it kept failing to get above that level. This is the first close above that 200-day simple moving average since way back here on February 3rd. And so what we're looking for now is a close above the gold and blue lines. That's the 100 and 300-day simple moving averages. If it can close above 94, that's going to be your big clue. It's ready to head higher. It closed above that level back here. You know, it closed above on these candles, but it failed to hold and pulled back. And so if it can get above 94 and turn it into support, that's going to be your big signal. It's ready to head higher. Okay, let's look at two more real quick. DCIX. Keep an eye on this marine transportation stock. You know, they've been trying to run some of these. Keep an eye on it. Last time it got above the middle Bollinger Band, it failed to hold and pull back. It hit that level today, 214. So if it can close above, then it could possibly run up to that 50-day simple moving average at 280, which would be really nice percentage gains. It's trying to heat up, volume's trying to pick up. It's a risk to hold if it's closing below the middle Bollinger Band. You know, look at the nasty long downtrend. But if it gets above, sometimes they you know, stocks like DCIX in the marine transportation sector make nice runs, and it could possibly run between 214 and 280. Okay, let's look at tops for the last one here. And so we did post this video last night showing that it was trying to heat up. You know, it had closed above that middle Bollinger Band on Friday, and as long as it holds that 18 level, this new uptrend could continue. It did have another close above the middle Bollinger Band today, so that was a nice you know, bullish change in trend from this last time that it closed above the middle Bollinger Band. Notice how it got right back below. So it's signaling that it wants to head higher. It didn't form a red candle today, which is good. That's a change in trend from back here. It's improving over the last two times it got above the middle Bollinger Band. Now it's hitting that 50-day simple moving average once again, that green line. If you see tops trading above 21, that's going to be your clue that, okay, yeah, it's still in play. And then if it closes above 21, that would be very bullish. And that's when it could get going, because you have the 100-day simple moving average way up at 37. It would have to bust through that upper Bollinger Band, but that would be a signal that wants to go. Now notice how the upper Bollinger Band is starting to level out. When stocks break out, it'll start to hook up. So keep an eye on that. Okay, thanks for viewing this video. Come check us out at our chat. I post our chat, our premium chat. That's where it's at. I'll post the link below the YouTube video. Okay, thank you.